if my understanding is correct about the after the hype, it should just start when we're like, all right, so we're talking about our dicks now. I hit record like 10 minutes ago.
Right.
All right, here we go. Um, no, but I was the same way. I got a job somewhere through a friend of mine, and they're like, we're gonna go celebrate. I'm gonna take you to my favorite bar, McDonough's, and it's a karaoke bar, and you have to sing. I'm like, I'm not singing. I have a shit. I can't say. I can sing. I don't feel comfortable doing it in front of people. And he was like, well, I'm gonna get you drunk enough until you change that answer.
Hell
And
yeah.
I was like, awesome, and it was great. I ended up singing Mumford and Sons with a local comedian.
Which song?
I will wait.
Oh, nice.
I
That's a
thought
good
that was
song,
the
Brian.
answer to the question. Like, no. I'll wait to tell you that answer.
No, I'll wait.
Not that's
I'll
the
wait.
song title.
I'll show you. I'll show you, motherfucker. No, that's the only one I know the words to.
Yeah, I like that song. It's a good one. Lots of
It's a
percussion.
good one to belt out with a stranger.
All right, so
So by the way,
By the way,
I've been
Yeah.
recording for like
What?
2 minutes now.
God damn it, what are we talking about? Hi everybody, welcome to the what is this one called?
after the hype.
After the hype.
After the hype.
After the hype. After the Higgscast. That's Nick.
Hey,
This is Cade. I hope
Hello.
I'm spelling that right. I hope I spelled that right.
did.
And I'm Jesse. And I don't remember how we are doing this, but this is how it's. God damn it!
yeah, when we're talking about stuff, we're talking about video games that went.
What's about
That-
Doom?
Yeah,
We
Doom.
talk about
Doom.
Doom.
When did Doom
God
come
damn
out?
Doom.
I was like,
Doom came out. I think it was last year.
right.
Because I remember it was one of my game. It was my game of the year. Because last year, I was Overwatch, Dark Souls, and Doom. Those are my 3 game of the years. What are we talking about? You got the list. You got the master
I do
list.
have the list. I thought we were talking about the very first Doom for a moment there. I was like, what is it,
Oh, yeah.
90? 90 or something
That
like
was
that?
97.
Yeah, if you haven't heard of it, you should play that game.
It was either 97 or 98 because it was very close to the perfect year of gaming, which is 97. Or is it 98? I don't fucking remember. Shit.
Well, it couldn't have been that
think
late
it's 90.
because the Doom 64 was out.
Was it?
Yeah,
Shit, my whole world's getting upside down.
right. The
Anyway,
90s.
instead of talking about the 90s, that's too far back.
All right, well, we're going to start a few months back.
That's
For
this
after
year.
year.
The hype.
After the hype.
Coming to you live from 5 months ago.
That's right. I got a few games pulled up from a few months ago
Yeah, what do we got?
that I've heard
What do
about
we got?
and played. Well, I mean, I'll start at the top of the list. Resident Evil 7, Biohazard,
Hey, Resident Evil 7?
came out
Biohazard.
January.
Mm-hmm.
I played the shit out of
like
that
that.
game.
I played a decent amount of it, and I'll be honest, so Nick, you saw how much of a total pussy I was when you, not even me, when you played PT.
Oh yeah, that was
Dude,
great.
I screamed and squelched like an infant.
Dude, I remember that.
game.
You were like, "Don't go in the bathroom. Stop. Don't open the door. Stop doing that." And I was like, "No, I gotta open the door.
And
I'm
you were
gonna push
like,
it open."
"Oh man," you're like, "Oh, this is so interesting. Oh, it's so cool." And oh man,
Look at this
and you were
baby.
so I was like, ah! Yeah, I like it. I've never been more scared by anything ever because PT is amazing and really scary and very
Absolutely, yeah.
engaging. And I wasn't even playing, and it's a fucking shame that all fell through. But now we have Death Stranding and all this other weird stuff coming out. But like Resident Evil got me. It had me like that for like the first 2 hours. And then because when it gave me just a pocket knife, I was like, oh my god, I gotta beat this whole game with a fucking pocket knife. And like, oh shit, it's gonna be And then when I beat Daddy, I wasn't scared anymore. And it just became an adventure game, and I was like, I don't really care anymore. And I stopped because I realized it was, Haunted House on the Hill. And that was really cool. And having this looming, like I don't know, I don't know why I stopped really giving a shit, but I feel like if Daddy had been the threat the whole time, I'd have been more interested in it. It was really good. I just stopped caring. Like it stopped being scary for me, and I was like, this is just, this is just a, you know, collect an item. It's like it's basically a point and click adventure game with some pretty okay combat.
Well, I had a great time with it the full way through, including after that part that you're talking about, because well,
And so
it
just to say,
yeah
we're spoiling the shit out of all this stuff because this is
yeah
after
after the hype.
hype.
So Jesse,
So
speaking of
if you
spoilers,
haven't,
he's
yeah,
he doesn't
it,
stop there. Like he comes back.
ah, but see, then that's like kind of lame. That makes that
No,
really
dude,
hard fight with the kid.
the way it's done,
Well, lay it
it's
on
quite
me. Let's hear
scary.
it, man. This is after the fucking hype. Let's hear it, bro.
So like after you wreck him, then you think he's dead, and
Yeah,
like
and you wreck
it treats it like it for a while,
it. Mhm.
and then progressively over time, you see him a couple more times, um, and he's actually like pretty much the final boss, like the
Mhm.
not the actual final boss, but it's like he gets all big and mutaty and shit, because it's Resident Evil. You got to go out of control at some point, and
Yeah.
like it. I mean, he actually works his way into the story pretty in depth. Um, even with spoilers, even
Mhm.
with spoilers,
Spoil, spoil the shit out of it.
I can't like describe everything that happens because it's actually kind of complicated.
Okay. So it maintains. But so then my question is, does it bring that like haunting, scary, you know, back?
Yeah,
Because
the other
I feel
like
like
characters
it
and
just
stuff
got,
do a very good job. Like, and they're different too. It's not just like the same people stalking you around
because
or the same like
because I got to the point.
types of
I
scares.
got to the point with Mother when it was like all the bugs and stuff, and you had to like get a flamethrower, and you had to like kind of continue hiding around her and stuff like that, and you had, like the VHS stuff, like doing flashbacks as your girlfriend or whatever. Like that was
Yeah.
all really cool. I thought it was really neat and was a callback to the demo, which I really enjoyed. I enjoyed the shit out of that demo because it was very scary. There were no weapons. It was just fucking go do it. Um, and so, like I said, I think it's an amazing game, and it's exactly what Resident Evil has needed since five, since four, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I get
Like,
where you're coming
it's
from.
definitely
My experience is also augmented by the fact that I played the whole thing in VR, which made
that's
it
right.
ultra scary.
Yeah. Could you see your feet?
No, you can't.
Damn. Oh well.
I know you
It's
knew
fine.
exactly what I check for in
Of
any first
course.
person game.
Of
Like
course.
load first person game.
Your feet.
Look at the story stuff. No, hold on. Let me look down first.
Let me look at my feet. If I can see my feet, you have my attention. I
That's
do
true.
that. Callie does that now. She'll like she started playing Skyrim and she looked down. She's like, oh
The disappointment.
yeah. They're like, oh well.
Why can't you
Wait,
see your feet?
Okay,
Skyrim has
okay,
VR
okay.
support?
What did you? Oh no, she just was on the PC and was trying to see if you could see your feet.
Oh, got you, got you.
I'm
I
sure.
didn't play Resident Evil 7. I've heard great things about it, but I just never played it.
Yeah, it's good. Have you ever played any of the other Resident Evil games?
That is also no, I have not.
Damn,
Horror
dude, you're
game.
missing out.
That's what I've heard, but horror games just aren't really my thing. Definitely not my forte.
I think you could jam out on 5 and get the gist. 4 is also like an action. I don't know. 4 feels like Die Hard but with zombies.
That's a
But
little like
like
that. 4 is really good. If you can find like you can get it on the PSN
That's on
store.
everything, dude. Like you can buy
The
it on
first
phone,
one,
like,
the second one are amazing. The second one,
mhm.
I think that might people consider that the best one out of all of them, and I'm inclined to agree.
Well, they took a horror turn, did they not? Like before, it was kind of actiony.
Well,
No, other way around.
in 1, yeah, other way around. 1 and 2 were super super duper horror. Like 1 like paved the way for what a horror game could be with the iconic dog window scene.
Oh yeah.
And it was just you're walking down a fucking hall. You're playing either this guy or girl agent, and there are differing stories that branch from that, and that was kind of new and kind of revolutionary. And the graphics were so high, and the background fidelity was so amazing. It was all this other stuff, and it like pulled your attention away from the game itself, but it wasn't so distracting. Or rather, the controls were so good that it didn't make you concerned with them. It made you focus on the game. So it almost like sunk you in, and then it took advantage of that immersion by scaring the shit out of you, by having things with like no music background, no cues, no nothing, just jumping out at you, dogs flying through windows, zombie dudes getting up and attacking you, dudes who you thought were dead from an hour ago. Like Resident Evil 1 is a masterpiece of a game.
It is.
And then it slowly
you have to count all your ammo, inventory management. Like if you have 7 bullets in your gun, you're like, I'm doing pretty all right.
Yeah, it's like, and I'm saving one for myself. And like like saving, like ink ribbons were the item you could save with. Like saving, you had limited saves based on your inventory. It was, dude,
wow. That sounds really awesome.
Yeah, and that was something that no one had ever seen, and everyone has kind of copied since. Is like this intense inventory management that adds to the stress level of the game, which then adds to the terror. Kind of what Amnesia: The Dark Descent did is it made you concerned about your Litwick boxes, your lantern, your darks, the shadows, and it added this augmented stress on top of scary horror themes in the game. And it stopped giving a shit about that around 5. And then 6 was like, what was it? What was the girl's name that Leon shouts the whole time, Nick?
Well, I think it's
Was it Sarah?
Yeah, something like that. Sarah.
Laura.
There was a co-op button that you could push where you could yell at your teammate, where it'd be like, "Hey, Leon," and then if you hit it again, it's like, "Leon," and then if you keep hitting it, it'd be like, "Leon!"
Yeah, you just like scream as loud as you can.
Oh, that's cool.
And then 7. That's the thing. Like the games have not been first person ever.
Right. Third person.
Yeah, third person. Like Resident Evil 1 was always fixed camera.
Yeah, 1 through 3 was fixed camera.
Yeah, 4 was over the shoulder, and they did a great job with that. 5 became a third person shooter like Gears. 6 was, it quite literally sucked giraffe dick. And 7 is amazing. It's incredible. I don't know. I stopped being scared. I think I took a page from your book, Nick, when I started talking shit to the black blobs. Like, that's right, motherfucker, let's go, you and me in the hallway. I'm a shot. That's right. And I would hype myself up so I wouldn't be scared because I was cowering. That's how I was terrified of this game. And I think it worked too well.
You sassed your way out of fear.
I did. I sassed and headshotted my way out of there. But I think that's enough about Resident Evil 7. Verdict: good game, great game.
Yep.
Worth the hype.
Yeah, great.
Definitely an important game for the history of an amazing horror series.
And a great way to start the year for 2017.
Definitely.
If I wasn't a coward, maybe I've played it, but I'm definitely terrified of.
It's fucking brutal, dude. Like play 4 or 5. Also, if you are gonna get yourself stressed out, there are better horror games out there, like Amnesia: The Dark Descent. I think is just a strictly better horror game, and I think the best ever. 7 tells a really great story about like the Deep South, something that I don't think like even Americans touch on.
Right.
I'm from the Deep South, so.
Well, one of the fundamental differences between those two games is how like Amnesia is pure horror, just like you need to avoid all conflict. You will die if you fuck up and shit like that. But Resident Evil as a whole is more like you do have the tools to fight back. You just have to really manage those tools.
And that's the thing is Amnesia is horror. Resident Evil is and always should have been survival horror.
Right.
Much in the way you see with like green herbs and ink ribbons and like making weird colored potions and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, what's next on the list? What else?
Yeah, well, another game. So I didn't play this one, but I heard a lot about it. I don't know if you got. Jesse, I think you played it for a while, but it sucked ass. Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh boy, I just got done beating that. I bought it about 2 months ago, and it's taken me that long to beat it. I don't want
Which
to spend a lot of time on it. Well, Kate, have you played this game?
I have. I haven't beaten it. I kind of took the same path
Okay.
that you did for Resident Evil 7.
Yep.
I lost interest.
Mhm.
It wasn't revolutionary in any way like any of the previous games were in the series. And, I mean,
And
the things that other people are
that's
getting hung up on, facial animations, like I can get over that.
Oh,
That
yeah.
could be patched in the future. And my
And it
New
was
Game
like, I don't know
Plus
when
will
you
be
played
fixed.
it, but it's not bad.
Yeah, I got it at launch, so it
Yeah.
was pretty bad, but it wasn't even as bad as people said. I mean, of course, if you hype yourself up for months and months or years even, and then you want to expect this masterpiece because 2 was a masterpiece, 3 was close to a masterpiece, in my opinion.
I think 3 is the fucking like the best of all of them. But like that's a whole podcast, bro. I play Mass Effect yearly. Like I do long playthroughs of that shit. So I'm a huge Mass Effect fan.
Hell yeah! I mean,
Um,
it was a 3 was a great game. The combat was wonderful, and in Mass
Oh, yeah.
Effect Andromeda, combat is where they hit the 10 out of 10.
Oh yeah, dude. Holy shit, do they get like I went straight from playing this, single player closed experience of Mass Effect Andromeda to playing Agents of Mayhem, which is great, but it's like nothing is as snappy as Andromeda's combat. It's so fucking tight. Like it's really
Absolutely.
good and responsive. It's and then like the what was it? The Nomad, like the Mako bullshit. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Like they
absolutely.
they figured that shit out with like different speeds to climb different ascents, and like floating around was fun, and the low gravity comet that you end up going to for Vetra's side mission was a ton of fun because you just go flying across this comet like a rocket ship.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I
and
mean, the telltale signs of whether this game was good or not is to check the price. And right now, you can buy it at Walmart for $30, 4 months after release.
I bought my copy. This was 2 months ago, gentlemen. I bought my copy of Mass Effect Andromeda for $17 used at GameStop.
That is fucking depressing, especially
Humiliating.
especially for such a titan of industry. Mass Effect.
Yeah, it's huge.
That name used to
they've-
hold weight.
They've had like BioWare has had a lock on the industry since 2002, y'all. Knights of the Old Republic passes on the map. Jade Empire was good, but that put their asses on the map. We're like, we do not fuck around. We
Yeah,
make
KOTOR was
games,
amazing. Yeah,
like check it out. And
that was the first RPG heavy game I played.
oh yeah, same
Yeah.
here. That was my first PC game I sat down and played, and really sunk my teeth into.
Well, if I remember
and
correctly,
I'm also-
BioWare even was kind of a powerhouse before that, not to the same degree. I think it used to be called. I mean, I believe it used to be called Black Isle Entertainment or something like that.
I think
But
you're right there.
That's like the D&D games, Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale.
Yeah. Shit, was that them?
Yeah,
Fuck. Well, we'll have to check that. 'Cause
they're
there's
the
no
ones
fact
who
check
put
on
in
podcast.
the Infinite Dungeon of Beetles.
Ugh, fuck that. Ugh. All right. Well, all right. So fuck them.
Well,
Fuck them
also-
for Andromeda and the Beatles. That's it.
Well,
That's,
so the reason why I
this
wanted to bring up Andromeda is because like how has it been patched? Like we talked about what facial animations, they've been fixed.
Yeah,
No.
Like
Sorry.
with the cheapness you guys are talking about with the game, like maybe somebody who's still hyped out for Mass Effect, maybe now's a good time to go get it.
Absolutely. I mean, in my opinion, I think they have fixed so much, and even replaying the beginning of it after I took a pretty substantial break. When you first arrive on the Ark and you talk to I can't remember the chick's name. Basically, she's like the leader of the.
What, Cora? The which one? The blonde chick?
No, the dark-haired, short, dark-haired bitch with all the eye makeup.
Captain Dunn.
Yeah, Captain Douchebag. So whenever you talk to her,
Oh yeah.
her face, but at first was absolutely
and then
stoic.
And
I mean,
then she says, "My face is tired."
She's like,
Dude.
I'm sorry for being like this in a robotic
My
tone.
face is
My
tired.
face is tired. So even the writing seemed poor at that point, and it was.
Yeah.
And they didn't take that out. They didn't take out the my
No.
face is tired. However, one thing they
And
did was they completely reanimated that whole scene, and
yeah, yeah.
it looks definitely passable now. But
Here's
listen to this.
here's
This is how. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
wait, well, I'm on a big long tangent, so don't let me interrupt.
I was just gonna say, Mass Effect Andromeda. Everyone's like, well, is there going to be a sequel? That's what Mass Effect 1 did to 2 and 3. But it was so lackluster in release
Yep,
that uh,
yep.
BioWare Montreal ended up getting merged with EA's Motive Studios
Hmm.
because they do not want to pursue any type of sequel in this game, at least not now. But they're focusing on Anthem right now.
Which we'll see how that goes. It looks really cool. I like cooperative stuff. Co-op stuff is a
I've
lot of is a big
I have
big
seen
deal for me.
these trailers. I have seen these trailers over and over. I saw the Watch Dogs trailer, hype, crash. I saw the Division trailer, hype, crash. Destiny 1 and the things
Ah,
that they promised, hype, crash. So I'm not going
yeah.
to feed into them this time. I'm going to wait until
I I'm
post crash.
cautiously optimistic. I'm cautiously optimistic. That's my take on most games. Red Dead Redemption 2, cautiously optimistic. That's really my only thing on the horizon. Anthem looks neat,
Yeah,
but
it's hard to
I,
come out of a grand slam and then try to
yeah,
create
like
another one.
what I was gonna say was I beat the shit out of Andromeda, and I didn't 100% it, Nick. I never do. You know me.
Yeah, I
I
know.
got maybe like 40 to 50% of the content. I had a full romance. I had a little side piece on the side. I actually really appreciated how they depicted this kind of like polyamorous writer, and I like that. It told a different story than one you could get from Shepard. Um, and like Cade and I both said, combat stellar. Some of the best third person shooting I have ever played ever, ever. It's so good. And I thought I was gonna like bitch out about it because it didn't have a cover button, but it's so natural and it's fluid. It works really well. Um, and the vehicle stuff is really great. But I
And there's a
played.
big but.
Uh, there's a huge butt, as big a butt as Ryder has, and she has a very fine ass. But I played the trial that came out because I had EA access at the time, right before Andromeda came out. So I played 10 hours straight of pre-launch Mass Effect Andromeda, and I saw the nitty-gritty face stuff. I saw the worst of it, and I played 10 hours, and my roommates were all excited, and they were all watching and like, "Oh man, this Mass Effect." Um, and Mass Effect, it's huge. Everybody should play Mass Effect 1 through 3 because they're incredible. They're monumental games in gaming. Like they did something that had never been done, having this continuity through games. Um, and we all just groaned and looked at the face, and it was really bad. And then they fixed it. They touched up. Looks nice. Looks fine. Dialogue's still pretty bad, and some of the dialogue even talks about like being really bad. Like at one point, Ryder is giving a mission briefing, and she's saying something or another, and everyone starts walking away. And she says, without a cue, there's not a choice here. She says this: "I didn't dismiss you. So wait." And it's like that with that candor of like, "I didn't dismiss you. Uh, meeting adjourned." It's like that, and like I enjoyed that for Ryder, but because she's not Shepard, and that was a different writing cue. But everything else, it shouldn't be that reaction for everyone ever. It all shouldn't be this awkward fucking high school sophomore mess. Um,
Space High School.
it's space high school and acting and all this other shit. And to counter Cade's thing of yeah they fixed it and it looks good. Like they fixed the scene with Captain Dunn of being a fucking robot face. Um, right before Andromeda came out, I played for probably like the fourth time because I love the game. I played Dragon Age Inquisition. Dragon Age Inquisition is an amazing game. It's so good. And the development time, y'all, was 2012 to 2014 because it came out on the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One. It had some technical bugs, some save problems, as is with launch games, but its facial animations, as janky as it was then, looked great. Great. And I had just came off of this game that was created in 2013 by the same company. And then after they fucking did their best to make this game that they said is the latest, greatest, newest thing, Frostbite engine, you're going to see the Mass Effect universe in the way you've never seen it before look worse than this game that came out in 2013, which even then didn't look that good. Like, Inquisition didn't blow anybody's fucking socks off with how graphical it was. It just was neat.
Does
And that-
Andromeda have any space spiders?
It does.
Do they have rib cages
they
like
come
in
out-
Inquisition?
No, no. You just pick up their holographic remains.
Hollow spiders.
I like the fucking rib cages, man. It's very Mortal Kombat. So that's the thing. When someone says, "Oh, you can't compare this game to this," or they're in a new engine, this or blah blah blah. Like, if I hold someone's work side by side, if I hold up an artist's work, like here's you 5 years ago, here's you now. 5 years ago shouldn't look better. And that's all I have to say about Andromeda. And unfortunately, having beat all of it and played the hell out of it, I would differ from what Cade said in that it is not worth your time. Not even for $17. There are better single-play experiences out there. Even for $17. Go play Doom. Go play something else.
For a fan of the game, I say even just to get more insight into this universe, story-wise, is definitely where it's weak, but for gameplay, it's really great combat, and I think that's what props it up in any sort of the way is the combat, but everywhere else it felt like a letdown.
I will say this: if you like the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, which I loved, I adored that.
I did too. I didn't like the bosses. I didn't like you know.
Oh yeah, the blind bags. This Andromeda does that and then some, and it's amazing. And if you have friends that play that and want to get into that, it's really cool, and it ties into the story kind of like it did in Mass Effect 3. But, I mean, I guess that's worth $17 in and of itself. But for
then
$60,
again, March release, who's still playing Mass Effect Online?
Nobody. That's what I'm saying. You have to have friends who fucking play. Like, I was like begging my friends to dust off their copies and play the multiplayer with me because I really enjoyed the combat. And I couldn't convince them, and they're like, "Nah, I'm gonna play Overwatch instead."
We'll do anything except
can't blame
Andromeda.
I can't blame you. Overwatch is amazing. So there's a general stank in the room about Andromeda, but Cade says play it. I say, I don't know, save your money for a pre-order for Red Dead Redemption or some shit.
Well, actually, I didn't even play all the way through it, so I can't really say play it.
Okay, all right. So it's after the hype. Did you get to the twist? Did you get to the big reveal?
No, I didn't get to the big reveal, but you can spoil it for me. Go ahead.
Okay, so the Angara are a fabricated race. They are 100% made. They are made by the Remnant technology.
Angara, the people who the enemies.
Yeah. No. The Angara, the purple dudes.
Oh,
the guy,
wow.
the guy that Jal is.
Right,
they are
right.
fabricated. They are made by the habitation system made by the Remnant, which I thought was really neat.
Okay.
But they made the exact same thing of, like, the clockwork maker of Mortal Design, much like the Protheans. And you even talk to one of the scientists in the game, and they say, "Oh, this is amazing. It's a really big..." And I was like, "This is a pretty dope twist. I like it, you know?" And you have to tell Jal, and he's like, "I don't know what to think. It's... You know, I saw the face of God and he was a man." And I'm like, that's cool. Then they shouted it for me by revealing where they got the inspiration for the fucking setting or all this shit. When one of the scientists, Subi, the co-pilot, says, "Was this what it was like uncovering Prothean ruins?" And I'm like, you know what? It's exactly like that because it's the same goddamn thing. And the twist is the same fucking... Like... The Reapers have existed forever, and they allow you to exist. Now the Remnant are the people, and they did that. It's the same shit, dude.
Yeah.
And they tease at a sequel, and they give this really half-handed plot of like, "Oh, we got to go save all the other arcs for all the races that you conveniently didn't see in this game." And I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, I want to see the Quarians, but I don't. Dude, that's what
I heard at the end. Is just like, so the Quarians, man,
worst.
Eyebrow waggle.
Yeah, exactly. It's bro. Do you like them Quarians? Oh man. And I'm like, there's only one I care about, and she's not in this game anymore because she's been dead for 600 years.
Let me play Hanar Spectre. That's what I want to do.
This one does not have time for your solid waste excrement.
No, Elcor, man, all day.
Oh, the Elcor are cool too, with with the
With
resigned
solid
sigh.
remorse.
This one does not remember if it fired 5 shots or 6. The Elcor. When I found in the lore of Mass Effect 3 that the Elcor have like walking battle platforms run by like VIs implanted in their heads, I was like, oh, that's the sickest shit ever. That's so cool.
Of course, we never get to
Like,
see that.
Right, but that's the thing, man. Mass Effect was this huge game.
Yeah.
1 through 3 is a fucking masterpiece. Every moment, except for like a few, adds like immensely to the next moment, the next scene, the next everything. Like Mass Effect 1 does the great thing of having like, okay, this guy is the bad guy. This one guy is the bad guy. He's totally just a rogue specter. Go get him. You find out this huge thing behind him. The apocalypse is happening. You're pretty sure you've fended off the apocalypse. Oh no, what might happen in the next episode of Mass Effect, this new serial space, this space novella. That was great. They tried to shove all the beats of 1 through 3 in this game, and it did not land. Like, it was like the Angara were a fabricated race. The fucking Ket are trying to like suck the genes out of everybody, and like it was so like the big thing. It was like, yeah, we're doing it. I'm just like, I don't care. It's because the enemy was just a dude, and they're like, oh, there might be more. And I'm like, I don't want there to be more. Like you're teasing. It's like this mystery bag might have dog shit in it. It's like, that's a dumb thing to say. Like I don't see how this is relevant. Like it's just
$15 for the dog poop DLC.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely final verdict.
Final verdict, it shouldn't have been a Mass Effect game. Don't buy it. If you are jonesing for some great third-person shooter, mindless shit, skip the dialogue. It's amazing. Otherwise, it's a waste of time.
Otherwise, your face will get tired.
I can agree with that. Otherwise, your face will get.
Yeah. Otherwise, Mass Effect Andromeda, your face will get tired.
It's the new caption.
All right.
Sell to BioWare. We're done.
Let's talk about another game.
Let's switch beats and go to a great game that I know Cade's been excited to talk about.
For Honor. All right, let's do it.
For Honor.
We're gonna get to For Honor, but for now, Breath of the Wild. It's the
Breath goddamn Wild, dude. Yeah. What a fucking treasure.
One word. Masterpiece. I think they hit the beat every way that they could in the best way possible. I think very, very few things did it come short on, and the only reason they might have come short is because I'm comparing them to other masterpieces that they've released in the past. So
let's, before we start stroking Breath of the Wild's dick, let's talk about its shortcomings, because I have quips with it, not even like problems, like small remarks about the game. Right,
definitely. So I think the one shining detail that comes out every time I think about this game. I think back to Ocarina of Time. I think about walking through any point in the game. And because of the size of the game, it wasn't huge, Ocarina of Time. Every part of that game I can recognize immediately. And I have memories of the place. And it brings back all this nostalgia. And whenever I think of this game, it's so less memorable. Specific points of it is so less memorable. The characters, I don't feel like, besides the 4 champions, Link and Zelda, everyone else I feel was so lackluster. They didn't build characters like they did in previous games. They didn't build areas like they did. And
like even mindlessly, like a minor character in Ocarina of Time I can rattle, we immediately recognize, and it's the traveling masked salesman, or the postman, or the woman you sell Poe ghosts to. Like all these fucking characters in Ocarina of Time, which
slapping her stick up against the side of the cage. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Like arguably Ocarina of Time, not one of the greatest of Legend of Zeldas, but revolutionary for its time, did that tremendously and made its transition from one aspect, like from the child scene to the adult scene, when everyone was turned into redeads, like it hit home and it made the people important.
Absolutely. So again, the combat is very fun. I think so.
Oh yeah.
But those damn weapons breaking so fast.
Dude, that's the best fucking dude. It's so like, all right, so I'm gonna gloss over my one gripe. My one gripe is that it's empty. Like it's a big open world. There's got to be more stuff. There's got to be more people. There's got to be more, just
Yeah.
more things. And I know it's probably a limitation of the Switch, but whatever. It's a fucking super tablet. It could handle a few more NPCs walking around doing whatever.
Yeah, I mean it's a
I
launch
haven't-
title though, so I mean they haven't
And that's the other
optimized.
thing. Is it's a goddamn launch title, and it's amazing. It's
It is
incredible.
amazing. It's a Switch
Um,
seller. I mean, case in point,
Absolutely.
it's a
And
Switch seller.
that's unfortunately what it was for me. It sold the Switch for me, and once I beat it, I was unemployed and needed to make rent, so I sold my Switch for $400. So,
Damn.
yeah, it's you gotta do what you gotta do. But
Yeah,
anyway,
no, definitely. But same here. I bought it for Zelda, and since then I've bought one other game, and I've played it for maybe 5 hours
and
tops.
that
so.
game was 1-2
Splatoon.
Switch.
Splatoon.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm very jealous. I wanted to play Splatoon.
Well, I have it.
The combat I've gotta play it. I loved one. I loved the attitude. I loved the localization of one. But shh, don't talk about Splatoon around me.
Yep.
Froth in his mouth. I liked the items. I liked that they broke because it made it feel old school cool in a way that never was an old school thing. Like the first Legend of Zelda, you had one weapon and that was it. There was no breaking. Like it gave it this like inventory management survival. Like it put a new twist on the combat because it helped you value the treasures you found, and I think it added to the importance of the goddamn Master Sword. They made the Master Sword so fucking important in this game that they have never done before. The only reason, and this harkens back to what Aaron Hansen said on Sequelitis of, you have to want the things in the game because you want them, not because the story tells you to want them. And in all the games, Wind Waker, Ocarina of Time, fucking Minish Cap, all of them, it's been like, get the Master Sword. It's the Seal of Evil's Bane. It's important plot. It's plot. Just go get. It's a mulligan. It's a MacGuffin, for Christ's sake. This
There's a mullet.
it's a mullet. That's right. It's a mullet having mulligan throwing MacGuffin. In this, it's a goddamn. It's a legendary weapon, dude. Like, it doesn't break. It can throw beams of energy out. It does crazy damage. It's so oh my god, dude. It's awesome. And like it makes you feel like you've arrived. You're like, all right, I got it. I got this thing. Let's rock. And that I think was a very risky decision. And I agree, the early parts of beating things up, like I don't have any good weapons anymore, or it's raining and there's a thunderstorm and I only have a Baco club, so let's hope they don't have anything better, was annoying.
See, this is the thing with that, and this is what I encountered throughout the game. If I did, you said treasures, let's say I get a royal claymore, which is amazing.
It's very.
I would find myself specifically not using it and making combat intentionally harder on myself so that I don't have to whip out my badass sword and kill shit.
Right.
Because I have to hold on to this weapon, because what if, I don't know, I encounter any Lionel anywhere and I have to use this thing
absolutely.
because
I was
everything
thinking the
will
same
break.
thing.
Like I don't have a choice.
Lionels
because
will ruin you.
yeah, every one of my Boca clubs have broken. Every one of my Traveler's longswords have broken. I'm only down to my best weapon. And that inventory size at the beginning, man, that's pretty rough. You definitely have to upgrade that right away.
Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go grab those nuts.
And with you saying there was so much value on the Master Sword, and now since it's after the hype, and this is definitely one thing we could talk about, the Master Quest to get the perfect Master Sword, like to get the empowered Master Sword, which makes it permanently 60 damage, by the way, and unbreakable. I mean, it won't unpower or whatever.
Right.
That, I think, makes the Master Sword invaluable. But when I got the Master Sword, I got it because I've played every Zelda game and because I have to have that Master Sword, and I want to get it as fast as possible to, gloat in everyone's face because it was day 2 of the release. Yeah. But I didn't feel like I didn't care about it. I didn't use it except for on boss fights where it was empowered. I had just normal weapons like the 8-fold blades and stuff plus 12.
Yeah.
that were better than the Master Sword. I mean, yeah, they broke, but they did more damage, and the beams don't do enough damage for me. Again, I'm trying to use better weapons. If I'm fighting
Right? Yeah, you're
anything,
trying to manage. Yeah.
yeah, if
So
I'm
let me ask
fighting
you this:
anything that needs a
what
strong
was
weapon, the Master Sword's
let me ask you this:
lackluster.
what was your play style? Like, what armor did you use? What weapons were you jamming out with? What recipes would you walk into combat with?
Okay, so I would definitely go full stealth as often as
I
possible.
so would I. I had the exact same thing. And see, I'm thinking like you're rushing into crazy combats and fights, but I would be sneaking my way through shit.
No, I mean, and the main reason I went with that, to tell you the truth, is just because I went to Kakariko right off the bat and ended up getting
Mm,
the full set of stealth armor. And once I
yeah,
encountered my first Great Fairy, I upgraded the armor. I was already one upgrade in. I could just continue on with that
yeah.
upgrade path. I ended up maxing out almost every one of my armor sets, getting
Mm.
getting uh, getting sensual with some of those Great Fairies.
Dude, dude.
Even though they're
I
all blatantly men.
there dude. A guy got steamy. Like the fourth upgrade, I was like, I joked to my roommate that was watching. I was like, I bet the fourth one is just they grab Link
It's
and
gonna
fully
rape you.
insert them into themselves. They use you as a dildo, and lo and
Yeah.
behold, they fade to black, and Link is like, like, dude,
You played through
don't
this,
ask,
Nick?
don't tell.
No, I haven't played through it.
Yeah, so the Great Fairies, the first one just blows a kiss at you to upgrade your armor. But
Okay.
it definitely, the sensualness ramps up. And the second time, she gives you an actual kiss, I think, right? Third
I think it's
time,
like a boop on the nose. Or no, it's an actual kiss. It's like a touch on the head followed by a kiss. The third one is grabbing and embracing of the bosom, and then the fourth one is like grabbing you, jumping into the air, and pulling you down into their fucking love pit, and it fades black.
I love it.
Dude,
Oh, it's so true.
it's oh my god.
Hell yeah. So anyway, yeah, stealth gameplay. I just, again, if I'm gonna stealth attack something that I don't think I can kill with one hit with the Master
Mhm,
Sword,
mhm.
then I'm not gonna use the Master Sword, even though it doesn't break. Why would I use something and alert everything in the area? The Master Sword is just lackluster unless I'm fighting guardians or a boss of some sort. It
Yeah.
you know. So I felt like that was another. I thought it was a weak point. You're saying it's a strong point, but I would
In
say
in in my the way I would look at it is it was a strong point to me because I always knew it was there. It was like a fucking like I had a battle buddy that I knew would have my back if I got into a scrape. Like, okay,
okay, yeah, I could see that.
because I would always, and here's the thing, I wouldn't even use melee weapons half the time. I had just played, I think it was Far Cry 3 or 4. And what's kind of weird about me is whatever game I played just before a game impacts the way I play it tremendously. So I was full on stealth. Or no, I had just played Dishonored 2. So I was full stealth. I was ready to rock and roll. Um, I went full Sheik armor because it's awesome and he looks great. People make comments on him. And what's also amazing is when you walk up to people, they're like, "Oh shit, sorry, I didn't see you there." And you're like, "Yeah, that's right, because I've got full stealth armor."
Yeah,
But I would use my bow and elements around like nature and fire and like bombs, and I would hardly, if I came across an encounter, I would either ignore it completely or just fire a few select arrows, lure people in with a bomb, trap that, like go full ninja mode of just, one, two, three. If you guys survive these booby traps, then I'll spare some weapon strikes on you. And if I ever got into a scrap that I couldn't handle, or a Lionel showed up, or one of those big giants with their fuck off eyes, or whatever, and I went through my big stuff, because I'd always introduce the big thing at the beginning of the fight. I'd let loose, a royal broadsword swipe here and there to finish the fight off quick, because I'd whittle them down, because I'd go full stealth mode. And then if the battle went sour, if I really fucked up, I'd be like, all right, now you've made me do it. The Master Sword's coming out. And it wasn't ever consistent damage, but I could always put that somewhere I needed. I could make the hit count. I could throw a beam, knock somebody off, push them in water, throw a bomb, do something. And
yeah, yeah.
it was my buddy. It was my, the only backup I needed, which I thought was really cool, especially in the cutscenes you see of Link. Is his only armament is a fucking sword. I'm like, that's weird, and I get it now, because that's it. That's all you need. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
you never had like this the sexual thing of like, oh man, I'm doing 120 damage to this thing. This is awesome. But I don't know. I like the steady bebop feel of bouncing off the Master Sword to throwing more, ah,
Yeah.
that's how I look at it.
I wonder
Oh
if it
yeah.
would
No,
feel
I
different
can
if
see that.
you were going for like a just get 'em mentality.
If I went for a get 'em mentality, I would never use the Master Sword.
I think
Because of the
that
damage thing.
Yeah, because it does 30 damage, which is good. It's okay. Like pretty quickly you find stuff that is way more potent than that. But in the right spot, it can be 60, and 60 is like, oh shit, 60 is a lot.
yeah,
Like I
especially
think the
for a
highest I ever
one-handed.
found, yeah, the highest I ever found was like a two-handed like 80 or like a 90 or something like that. And
Yeah,
even
ancient
even
battle axe
then,
plus was a 90 for me.
yeah, and even then, those are like super duper fragile. Um,
Yeah.
but
But to touch on what you said about the game being empty, I completely agree, and I don't think following like a Ubisoft thing,
yeah,
like they did, just stick a
oh
Korok
yeah,
here and there and say the game's full. That's
yeah,
that doesn't make it full. That's not content. And with 900 Koroks to find, just because
yeah.
they're fucking everywhere doesn't mean your game's full. And it starts becoming repetition. Watching
Ugh,
yay for the 150th
uh,
time, you
yeah.
know.
And
Yeah.
like it made you scrutinize the environment in a way that I didn't think was healthy, and that's why I just didn't do it. I got my shields that I knew I needed for the Ganon fight, and then I was like, I don't care anymore. I'm not stopping for you guys.
Yep, yep. So, and the last thing, and this is a big hitter for me, is the music. The music was good.
Yeah,
Music
yeah,
was good,
it was good.
but it wasn't
It wasn't
it
it
wasn't
wasn't
center
the best.
stage like it has been
Yeah,
in almost every Zelda game. I mean, I
yeah.
can think of 5 different Zelda games that have 5 different types of
I
musical
I can
instruments.
I can hum a song and someone in the next room could name it. Do 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 do
Song
do
of
do. Like
Storms.
we all know
Yep.
exactly.
Yeah.
You remember the buttons to play that song. A down up, A
Up,
down
A
up.
down up.
That's
Yep. Yep.
that's the fucking shit, man. And I think they had been moving away from that for some time now, especially with how Twilight Princess handled itself. Um,
Yeah. And this was
and
a
like I didn't play
full movement away from it. It
I,
was
I
at
didn't play
some
Sky.
point there was zero music. It was just silent.
Uh,
You just hear the wind blowing and whatnot. But I'm sorry, go ahead. What were you saying?
but I think that like I think that's a weird decision. I agree. And even in an environmental sense, it was empty. But it wasn't memorable. It was there. If you played a bit of music or like a jingle, I could be like, yeah, that was from this, but nothing ever stood out to me. The stuff that stood out to me, and I think like it made, and this harkens back to a movie. Well, we don't talk about movies on this fucking podcast. Whatever.
We can.
I think. Well, anyway. The movie's
Movies
called
have
Blind.
hype.
The movie's called Blindness. It came out in like the early 2000s. Don't watch it. It's about when the entire world goes blind from a plague. Like there's literal break gangs that go through and take advantage of people's blindness and all this other stuff. But what made something amazing in that movie was that at one point a blind pianist was up on a high balcony and he found his piano. He started playing, and this was like three-quarters of the movie, and that was a huge moment for me. I started crying because it was after they escaped this big rape gang. They got out of this prison. They did this, this huge thing, and that was the solace that they had. They had the solace of this music, and I had moments like that in Breath of the Wild. And I don't know if you met the NPC Kate, but the Rito accordion player, he
Yeah,
would
of
always
course.
talk about the song. That guy, dude, I could sit and listen to that guy jam forever. And he would just have these little tales and these little stories, and he'd be like, I'd like to share the story with you. You want to sit down? I'm like, absolutely. Wherever I found him, I'd be like, let's hear it, man. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I have to
Um,
climb up a mountainside just to get
yeah,
to him.
you have
But
to
yeah,
climb up to this fucking crazy high tower that's like 6,000 feet too high, and you're like, I gotta get there. I hear the music. I have to fucking find him, and it made it made that moment really great, but I don't think it had the exact same impact on the game the way the Master Sword did on combat for me. Of like, oh, the absences make the highs better. I'm like, I agree. I think the music should have been there because like you think of Wind Waker, you think of even Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess didn't have a lot of great jams, but it had some memorable stuff.
Yeah. Wind Waker, I loved the music. I love.
Wind Waker was stellar, dude.
Hell
Like
yeah.
it knew exactly how to make you feel like you're on the ocean blue and you got this world ahead of you. Just with the fucking songs, dude. Not the sounds, not the waves, not the sail, nothing. Just this music.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, I definitely agree. I think
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think what it lacked in music though, it made up for in sound design, like in dungeons and stuff, and like cues and jingles. Like there was a lot.
That's what
more
I was about to say. That was exactly what I was about to say.
It was handcrafted. Like
and nothing
long gone.
makes the heckles rise up in the back of my neck as whenever you hear that piano solo and you know that, oh shit, a guardian sees me. I need to
dude,
book it.
Like what was amazing is when you'd sneak around, there'd be like this like little tinkle, this like just of like piano, and I'm like, okay, they're looking for me.
Right,
and, like, It had this really smart stealth system in it, and this alert system that some games do of like, oh, when you're in the, all these different like arbitrary systems of meters on the screen.
Now, it definitely wasn't
the
Dark
sound
Souls
design,
combat,
maybe not the music,
but it definitely wasn't Ocarina of Time combat.
It was somewhere between the ebb and flow of the battle.
It was somewhere between challenging.
It prattled all the way down the keys. And it definitely. And I agree, it is very much like Dark Souls, and I think that's a game we could talk about as well. Is that it's like that system alone in itself is a masterpiece, because it brought back the old school thing of the difficulty is only as hard as you make it. You can avoid this fight, you don't have to fight it, but if you think you can handle it, go for it. Let's see it. Step up to the plate, swing big. If you miss, you are out. And with Guardians, when you figured out how to beat a Guardian, and if you could do it consistently, you felt like the king of the goddamn castle. Dude.
I will say the parrying. The first time I parried a laser beam back from a Guardian, I mean, it gave me a stiffy. I am not even gonna lie. It was amazing when I just
chills, man, chills.
Yeah, absolutely. And it actually wasn't even on a Guardian. It was on one of the flying Guardians that are around Ganon's castle.
God, those bastards.
And I parried one back, and it blew him out of the sky, and I was king of the world. Yeah.
I saved arrows specifically for those little assholes. I would have ancient arrows just for them. But yeah, so like Breath of the Wild, amazing game, masterpiece, a very important, necessary. It's like we could go on and on and on and on. It's incredible.
You can borrow my Switch if you want, Nick.
Sure.
If you want to play it for sure. No, I can give it to you whenever.
After what I just heard about it, then yeah, I'll check it out for sure.
Dude, it's amazing. So, out of 10, what would you give it?
I'd give it a 10.
You give it a 10?
Well, so here's the thing. So, Nick and I actually have a score system that we use to communicate games to each other, and it's out of 7. And what it is everybody wants to give something 5 stars, and it has to be odd, so that if you give something 4 stars, which is dead center, it's like, it's all right. It's, check it out. Like Mass Effect Andromeda would be a 2 or a 3.
Out of 7.
Out of 7. 2 or 3 out of 7. Like below average. Don't do it. 4, average. You get what you come for. 5, really solid. Definitely worth checking out if you're into this. 6, you gotta get it. 6, definitely. 6 is like Overwatch.
6 is like pushing Game of the Year kind of stuff.
Yeah,
like
6
this needs to be played.
6 is like, if you have a short list for the year, play it. 7 is, you have to play this game before you die.
Like,
and it is.
If I ever get something to 7, it's like, this is one of the best games I've ever played in my life.
This is extraordinarily important, not only to games, but to entertainment and media. This is important. And I give Breath of the Wild a 7 out of 7. Much like Nick would give Chrono Trigger, and as would I.
Hell yeah, Chrono Trigger 7 out of 7. Best game ever.
And like, games like StarCraft 1, 7 out of 7. Like, it just, these, you have got to play this game. You have to. Like, and not even like, you're not a true game player. Like, that's not important. It doesn't matter. We're not here for that. We're here to tell you, if you want to play games, there are very few games that get a 7.
Yeah.
And like, I wouldn't even give Mass Effect a 7. Like, I might give the whole series a 6 or a 7. There are definitely some low parts of Mass Effect. Like, some of the loyalty missions in 2 are like trash.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I give Breath of the Wild a solid, no hesitating, 5 months after the hype, 7 out of 7,
Nice.
100%, no hesitation.
And you haven't played the first expansion that's out.
I have not.
Okay, because I've heard it just feeds into the game even better. I heard it just gives you more content, and the next expansion is supposed to be some flashback stuff, kind of like
Ooh.
pre collapse. So
That'd be
maybe
cool.
yeah,
Really
yeah,
dumb.
yeah. So before Link loses his memory, perhaps. So I guess we'll see how that develops. But okay, so out of 7, I mean, I would like to give it a 6.5 because there are a
Well,
few things that I
well, see,
felt
that's the thing. That's
you
the other thing
can't
about the system. If you
exactly.
can't, no half scores. That's
So
why it's
then I'd have
so
to
big and so small.
I'd have to round it up then. So it would get a 7 for me as well.
Hmm.
Um, Also, one last thing about it, the art style they chose, I think it was absolutely perfect. They couldn't
That
have
goes
done
really good.
they couldn't have done better,
I
and it's ageless. It's timeless.
Yeah,
Like you could
yeah.
play this in 20 years, and it's still gonna look good because there's no
It's very
graphical
much like
upgrade. Wind Waker,
it's
yeah,
very much like
absolutely,
Wind Waker in that mindset of it's doesn't matter how you look at it. It's not about the specs, it's about the design of it. And
exactly.
that's
And Wind Waker
and
still holds up
That's
now.
true. Like if you look at anything
absolutely
from Wind Waker, it's just like I mean, this is amazing.
right?
Any set
Yeah,
piece,
Because
great.
it's still
it's
good.
all sharp, colors, high contrast, great character design, and then the swirly bits on the end of tails. Like that.
And that kid's
Yeah.
droopy nose booger, like you can't
Oh
Absolutely
can't
fuck
God.
that
beat it.
guy.
Oh man, you want to throw
Can't
bombs at him for sure, man. I don't care if
yeah.
his bombs are hella expensive.
Push him into the ocean. Um and I think that's something Legend of Zelda has always been good at is finding the right art style to set the tone, theme, setting, arc of the game. Like Twilight
Yep.
Princess, dark, gritty, very
Hell yeah.
serious, edgy. Doesn't hold up very well, especially when you look at it, considering it was on the Wii. Unfortunately, it's one of my favorite art styles. Twilight Princess is probably my favorite of all the games to play. I don't think it's the best, but everyone has a guilty pleasure.
Yeah. How about Skyward? You keep hitting on Twilight and.
I'm not even going to talk about Skyward Sword.
Oh
I'm
come
not.
on, man! Come on, Skyward was a
tried.
good game.
I tried. It was a game. I tried really hard.
I
really
watched
did.
somebody
it's
play
got
it,
my
and I
favoritely
couldn't. I
designed
didn't thought
Zelda.
that it was terrible just watching the play.
I will give you that. I think the Zelda is pretty great.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
this Zelda. I think Breath of the Wild Zelda is best.
Oh, you do. I was waiting. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I was waiting to roll up to the castle and discover she's 100-year-old lady. I was waiting for that to
That'd have
happen.
been pretty cool. Like
Yeah,
that. See, that's the thing is she, in terms of character, I think this Zelda is the best because she fits wisdom.
Oh, you're
Ganon
right.
fits power. Link fits courage. She fits wisdom because she's a fucking bookworm. She's a nerd who doesn't know shit about getting out there and breaking, like, busting skulls. She's like, I want to discover this. I want to learn this. I don't give a shit about what I got to do. We have secrets to uncover. This before anything else. And then Ganon is, I want to rule the world. This before anything else. And Link is, I have got to say, I don't care how naked I am. I don't care how many apples I have to eat. I don't care what pot lids I have to use to defend myself.
How broken
to
this stick
save.
is.
I don't care how broken this stick is. This before anything else. And I think
yeah.
as a character, this Zelda is the most well written, the most well realized. I think she's got a great ass. I love a good ass.
Yeah,
And
yeah. As you've touched on before here.
Out of 7.
I've got. Well, I'm not going to rate somebody's ass. But I'm looking.
It was a 7.
I bought. I bought one. I bought one amiibo for this game, and it was the Zelda one because I'm looking right at her, and she's got a book in one hand, and she's looking forlorn off into the sunset, and she's got like her travel boots on. She's ready to go. She's a princess of action, ready to uncover the secrets that need happening, ready to fulfill the position of wisdom, and I love it.
Hell yeah! I couldn't have summed it up better. That's perfect. So that's So what else do we have on the agenda, Nick?
So yeah, woo,
well, I mean,
that up?
It's about time to start transitioning into what, because I've been curious about what Jesse has to say about For Honor, because one of the things we're going to look at is how a multiplayer community is surviving or not over the course of a game that's been out for several months. Like we've already touched a little bit on the Andromeda thing, where it's like nobody's playing it. How's For Honor doing?
I actually booted up a match the other day, and it's all a bunch of high-level dudes who have prestiged like 18,000 times and have the best armor and paid to win. Um, and so that's to be expected with a kind of off the scenes multiplayer game. The difficulty level hasn't gotten crazy. I don't know if that's because I'll be honest, I'm really good at the game. Like I'm really good. Like I can keep up with these fucking like crazy spazzed out monster energy drinking 12-year-olds that are on this game. But it's still got the same rhythm, the bounce, and the rhyme. Like it's a fighting game. Like it's what it is. As long as you can figure out the rhythm and the rhyme of it, you can hop on up and get ready for its bobsled time. And I think it's fine. I think it's aged fine, but it's not great. Like the community already wasn't great. The dedicated service hasn't come out yet. It did take me a while to find a match, and it wasn't paired up with my faction. I was with a bunch of dudes who aren't on my faction, which, it's rare for that to have happened originally, which is a problem.
What system you playing it on?
I'm playing on the Xbox One.
Okay.
So I can't imagine it's very popular on the PC. I think it's probably up in the air.
No, I looked up some numbers on it previously, and I think the average player count any time. Obviously, there's spikes and other shit, but it's around 1,300 people or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
1,300.
But
yeah,
that's abysmal. Wow,
it really is.
That's a low number. It's a bummer. And that's one of my fears of getting invested in a game. That's what's honestly keeping me from getting too invested in Overwatch. Because I could be ranked way higher. I could have prestiged way more times in Overwatch. But I'm so afraid that community, especially on the Xbox One, this game that's designed for PC is just gonna die. And it hasn't, thankfully. But
I mean, Blizzard has a way of making their stuff stay really strong over the course of ever. Considering that the first StarCraft is still being played in world tournaments for lots of money.
They just got a remaster of the game. Like they just got a remaster of the first StarCraft game, and it's awesome.
It is. I got it. I've been playing it.
But yeah, you have. But that's the thing. I like For Honor a lot. I think it does something that hasn't been done before. And I think because the developers are talking about it, and I think it taps into something that not very many games do. And I think only Battlefield and I really can't think of another game that taps into this just intrinsic feeling of simultaneously camaraderie, solo badassery, and basic childlike games. Because what were the games you played? You played Cowboys and Indians, as racist as it is. You played Sticks and Stones. You played War. Sticks and Stones is For Honor. War is Battlefield. Fucking Cowboys and Indians is, rallying in Charlottesville if people want to do that.
Whoa, dude.
Wow.
Fucking soon.
Went there.
Topical. I did. No, fuck Nazis, dude. Fuck Nazis. Neo or otherwise. Anyway. Because everybody has that cool feeling of this unspoken camaraderie between you and your opponent. There would be times in For Honor when you go on his side, you go and take a position, and you're like, oh, we got to get this position, we got to make sure we capture this point, or else they're gonna win here in the next minute. And you go there, and there's this one dude standing there, and he's got this sick armor, and you're like, oh, okay, all right, I've got to do this. And then he gives you a bow before you fully pull up to him, and you're like, this is great. I have to return this bow, and then you return that bow, and then you fucking fight it out like champs, like warriors do. And it taps into that really cool, awesome feeling. And I can't tell you how many times that type of fight would happen. Someone on either side, ally or otherwise, would roll up, hang back, and let you two fight it out. And then when it was done, you'd have to step up to the plate to this fresh new person, and you get your ass whooped. But it literally had this honor in it, and it was super cool and this very unique thing to it, because most times you'd have allies with you, but a lot of times it's because it's 4v4. It's a pretty small game, and they're mobs and stuff they could chew through, and you would kind of get to know the enemy. Like, oh shit, it's this ninja over here. It's like, great, I gotta go deal with this Shigoki, or this this axe wielding this warden over here is giving me the business, and it's such a unique feeling. No game has done what it's done before, or even come close or even tried, and it's the game is dead because the servers suck. Because like the joke was it got disconnected, and the dedicated servers didn't show up in time, so
Well,
it's
yeah,
dead.
peer to peer just it doesn't work. Like especially when
it's outdated.
if
it's
whoever
archaic.
the host is disconnects, and then that just screws it up for
Yep.
everybody. And like it had a lot of promise.
Why was it like that? Were they just taking a cheap route? They didn't have servers, or what?
I think so.
The cheap route was peer to peer because they didn't want to put the cart before the horse in this aspect, and a lot of people bought it, a lot of people played it. Like there were a lot, like in the first month or two, there was a lot of traffic.
Because it was a neat concept, and like you were saying, like it elicits that feeling of you see a samurai lone atop of a mountain. You've killed my father, and I trekked across the land. We will now fight to the death.
And that it was super dope. Like it captured this unique feeling, and it couldn't sustain itself because of this cheap route. And I think Ubisoft was cautious to invest too much in a game, considering how, did Wildlands come out before? Wildlands came out after. Seeing how The Division did and how Siege is still very, very potent, but not as big as it was.
That fell off pretty quick.
It did fall off pretty quick, but those that are with it are still with it pretty strong. Siege has a good following still.
Right.
Yeah.
The Division is The Division is basically dead. And that's
yeah.
because
I was so hyped for The Division, man. I
thought The Division was good.
I thought,
I
looking back, I'd say it was good too. Like at the end there, when I was running into like the really obnoxiously hard incursions or whatever they called them, and I was sitting there like, oh, this is so frustrating. Being in the dark zone, I die all the time. Like, how is it? This is bullshit.
Yeah.
Everyone's cheating. But then I looked at my time I played on Steam, and I was like, you've played 140 hours, and I was like, okay, I guess I had a great time.
Yeah, you got a good
I guess I enjoyed
time
it.
value for that.
But yeah, so I think Ubisoft was just being cautious, and they were too cautious.
Because it could have still been going strong if they had actually implemented those dedicated servers after the initial rush of people.
Absolutely.
If they did it after the first week, like those numbers would be quadruple easy.
You could probably still find people on PC even. Ooh, that's the mystical. That's the mystical ground that you got to get to.
Yep, maybe. So yeah, that's the unfortunate part of it is multiplayer games have a life to them, Like Team Fortress 2, I played the Christ out of that game. It's not dead, but it's dying. With Overwatch and CS:GO getting really big, it's people are moving away, and Dota being as big as it is.
Yeah, it is big.
And
League,
they're just
Yeah,
League is big. League is getting smaller. League peaked a few years ago, but it's still the biggest, most played multiplayer game in the world.
Yeah, Jesse, guess who said who was never playing League again started playing League again?
Dylan?
No, me.
You?
Yeah, me. I started playing it again.
What the fuck? Why? Oh,
because I remember that I had fun
Nick?
sometimes.
Why did you start playing it again?
Dude, Heroes of the Storm is great. Try it. You'll love it.
I actually don't particularly care that much for it because I really kind of like the item buying in League and Dota and stuff like that. I like being able to customize it to that degree, and
that
like I like the skill of last hitting.
Yeah, I don't. That's all I can say. Is I think it's partially because I'm just not good at it, or I'd play characters who weren't that great at it. Like I'd play Vlad and Anivia. Vlad was really good at last hitting, and Anivia wasn't. I would play. I don't even remember who I played anymore. I played the chick who had the balls, or had the ball. What was her name?
Oriana.
That's right. She was terrible at last hitting, but also I sucked at the game. And I wanted to play really hard characters, so I play Nocturne. Nocturne's not that great at last hitting. He was a fucking jungle. But I mean, whatever. We can talk about League, but we're not here to talk about League. We're here to talk about other games.
That's right.
For Honor, dead. It's sad to see it go. I enjoyed it.
It is sad. I got beta access. I never actually bought the game, but I played in open beta, and I enjoyed it. I really did. But
Yeah.
again, I've just been burned too many times by early access. I've been burned too many times by pre-ordering. I just took a step back and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
let it. I'm gonna let it go for a little bit, see how it goes, and almost immediately the issues were so evident, and I just stayed away from it.
Definitely a wise choice in that regard.
Yeah, because $60, that's a lot of money, man. A lot of money for a game. I mean, what's a lot more money is $400, which is how much someone paid for your Switch,
one
right?
game. But here's the thing, that was worth it.
And that's the sad part. It was.
If I weren't unemployed for that stretch of time, I would still have that piece of shit Switch.
Yeah.
This fucking weirdly specific, like, we could have made this 5 years ago technology.
I mean, but it is fun. And hey, Splatoon is really great. It really is.
Oh, stop talking about Splatoon.
Yeah, it's really good, man. But sorry. So what's next on the agenda?
What's next on the list?
Couple more segments that I want to go through. The first one is a bit of just a quick flashback to other shit that came out around this time, like in other August's.
Auguy for sure.
Throughout the ages.
Caesars.
And one of the things that I know that Jesse and I had a great time playing. This came out on August 19th, 2009 or something. Shadow Complex.
What is it?
Shadow Complex.
Yeah, shit. Oh my god,
Shadow Complex.
If you like Metroidvanias,
Shadow Complex.
If you like exploring, if you like guns, and you like a kind of weird story, but mostly the gameplay, Shadow Complex.
Shadow Complex was a game created, I don't think it was during the Xbox Live Arcade, but made in that era. Exclusively for the Xbox 360 by a very small-time developer called Chair. And the Shadow Complex is based off of a series of books. It's the second book in the series. The first book actually gets referenced to in the opening scene where you play as the main character who gets betrayed by the vice president, blah, 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 blah. Don't read the books. The guy that is an author is an absolute anti-Semite piece of shit. Fuck Nazis, neo or otherwise. But, this is true. This is all true.
Yeah.
Shadow Complex is an amazing game. It's tremendous. It very much is in the vein of early Metroid, of Castlevania, and in an era where that hadn't happened in a long time. And I think Shadow Complex breathed life into that feeling again.
Yeah, and on top of that, even though it was originally released for the just the Xbox Live, you can get it on PC now.
Yeah. Shadow Complex Remastered. It was released
EA
May the 3rd
or something like that.
Yeah. I think it's on Origin.
They have it on Steam.
Well, if it's on Steam and it's like
it's
reasonably
$15.
priced, get it. It's $15. I thought it was 20.
Dude, it's worth $20.
Definitely worth your time.
If it's 15, definitely get it.
Yeah.
Some of the similarly enough, some of the facial animations in that game are a little weird, but they know that they have that shortcoming, and they put masks and suits and battle armor all over the faces so you never see them.
Well, it's also like a side 2.5D kind of view, so it's not like it really needs that other great facial animation.
And I think that's one of its super strengths is how it encaptures the 2.5D experience, because there are times when you have to shoot things in the background or in the foreground, or things are crawling up. Like it's awesome, and I think it was so good that it brought all of these games to the forefront, like Ori and the Blind Forest, like Strider, like
and it handled the controls and the aiming for that very well. Like it never had problems trying to shoot in like the different angles.
Yeah. And there would be different things that had arcs and different trajectories and different items that can interact with the environment, and I think it was amazing.
That sounds really cool. That sounds right up my alley. So I'll have to check that out.
If you're way into that, that feeling, that exploring the map, getting items, unlocks, and even like speed running, they built a secret in mind just so you could speed run it. Which I think it kind of defeats the purpose, but it's very interesting and it's hard to
as long as you play at least the first playthrough with just like take your time, look at everything, like explore, find all the collectibles and shit, and then like maybe a second playthrough or later on just like go for it, then that's totally built perfectly for that.
Yeah. It's awesome. It's an amazing game.
Yeah. So and
what else
I also wanted to touch on. I wanted to ask you, do you think the Switch is a good buy right now? if you're not a hardcore Zelda fan.
No.
No, that's how
Not
I
yet.
feel about it. And also, right now,
Um,
if you don't find it at like GameStop, which there's still a shortage right now, it's still hard to
yeah.
find. If you don't find it there and you want to buy it on Amazon, there's like an 80 to 100%, $100 markup, 80 to $100 markup on it just for the base
Um,
game. No game
I
included.
think you have to wait for Pikmin. I think you have to wait for Fire Emblem. I think you have to wait for Pokemon. Because Splatoon and Zelda, and I really like 1-2 Switch or
Well,
Switch
how about
1-2 or
Mario? Mario coming out pretty soon.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about a hat possessing somebody's face.
What?
I don't, dude.
Get the fuck out of here! That
I
game
don't.
looks awesome, man.
That game looks like a fever dream. That's what that game looks like.
Oh my god.
Like, okay, here's
Is that
the
when
thing.
Mario's in New
In the
York?
sa-
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in fucking New York City. He's in New York City.
He's still the same
no,
like
no,
model
no, no,
versus
no, no,
everybody
no,
else.
no. He's not in New York City. He's in New Donk City. All right. Get
New
your
York
facts
City.
straight.
Excuse me. Excuse me. 2 letters away from New York City.
Is there
Alright.
flipping off the cab driver minigame?
You could bounce off
Yeah.
the top of their car.
Is there killing a prostitute minigame?
Oh, maybe.
Dude, okay, so
Grand Theft Mario.
I didn't like Super Mario Sunshine because I got hyped for that when I was a kid. I didn't like it.
You didn't like it? I loved Super
no.
Mario Sunshine.
I played it. I didn't like it because I was a kid and I didn't have money.
Oh.
I think Super Mario Galaxy is great, but it gives me a headache.
Yeah.
And then I think like most of the 3DS and DS games that are Mario that have come out have kind of sucked. I think Super Mario 3D World's pretty good. Dude, I'm gonna go on record. I don't give a shit about Mario. What I'm more interested in is Zelda and good Pokemon, which will never happen again, unfortunately, and Kirby. Those are the only things I
Wait,
care.
with the good Pokemon, you didn't like Sun and Moon?
No, I did not. No.
Really?
It felt like
And here I thought
it
you
felt
had
like
taste.
it thought the last one I liked was Black and White, and I have tried earnestly every single one. I really have. I've given it full time and attention. I've tried.
Okay.
Sun and Moon is too handholdy and has too many tutorials. I had the same problem with it that I had with Final Fantasy 13. It's like I am like 5 hours into this game and you are still teaching me new shit. Like let's get this out of the way. Let's get
Final
the
Fantasy 13. Oh, I'm 60 hours into the game and you're still teaching me new
60
shit.
hours into the game and you're still teaching me shit. Yeah, fuck that. As a game for someone new to Pokemon and that's their first experience, that's great. I think it's great. But
Yeah.
I guess I thought it would never happen, but maybe it happened to me. Maybe I've outgrown Pokemon. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting too old.
Damn.
But that deviates from your question: is a Switch a good buy right now? The answer is no. It's too expensive. Not the games.
That's
Dune
it.
and Legend of Zelda aren't worth it.
I agree.
If you're a diehard Zelda fan and you need something portable and fun to play with, definitely get it if you have the money to spare. But if you're homeless and you are unemployed, don't waste your money. Like,
Yeah.
buy a suit, donate plasma, do all that shit.
Yeah. Wait until holiday season because
Wait until holidays.
Yeah.
There'll be some sale. There'll be some bundle.
oh yeah.
So we got another segment, Nick.
Yeah, one
Turn of the
more.
game.
And this one actually doesn't have to do anything with after the hype. This is like, what are we excited for that's coming up?
Red Dead Redemption. That is what I want.
Destiny 2. That is what I want.
I'm in Cade's corner with this a little bit. I don't know. I'm tentatively hyped.
See, I think we all have the same bated breath about Destiny. Because Nick
I am
played
chasing the dream, man.
You played the Christ out of that game.
I
remember
bought a bundled
yelling,
edition
screaming,
PS4
and
with Destiny as part of it.
Oh, you got the
And-
white one.
Yeah, the white one. And
Yeah.
I put more hours into that game than I spent dollars in the entire bundle.
Oh wow. Hell yeah.
And
This is the thing with Destiny 2, man. If I am chasing that first high I got whenever the Vault of Glass opened up the first time, and there was no information online anywhere about how to beat it, how to open
And
the door
see,
even.
that's like, and that's amazing, and that's really cool. And I think we've all had different experiences with the game because my shit with Destiny I started playing Destiny about 5 months ago.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the content dried up. I could not find a raid because no one wanted to hold my hand. None of my friends had it. I got 3 max level characters. I did everything. Okay, I didn't get a 400 light level because I'm not fucking that crazy. I got a fucking 290 light level. So whatever, I'm a scrub. But like, it just dried up. It died, and it died in anticipation for like. There's still a lot of crazy stuff like the God, what's it called? What's the thing where you play multiplayer matches against other people? Yeah, or not the Crucible.
Yeah, the PvP?
Yes.
The strikes or
the
No.
the Osiris thing.
Yeah, the Trials of Osiris. Thank you. That's what it is. There's so much fucking names for shit. Like that stuff is really cool. Like that's something super interesting.
Well, hold on. That's a totally different thing, though. The Trials of Osiris was some bullshit excuse for an expansion, because that's basically all we got in that expansion, and I thought that was a little ridiculous. That everyone wanted another raid. That's what we pay for expansions for, was for another raid, and for that specific expansion, all you got was Trials of Osiris. So Nick, earlier you asked me, is it worth buying the 2 expansion packs bundle? The $90 game plus the expansion pass. No, I don't think it's worth it, because if they're gonna pull some slick shit like that again, save your $30 and don't buy the expansion if they want to do that. Not to mention, in the first Destiny, they really pulled a shitty quick one on you when they released the Taken King, and you could get everything before the Taken King for the same price as the Taken King expansion.
Oh yeah, so you could just rebuy all of Destiny for the same price as just Destiny. That was bullshit.
Exactly. So basically, they're just saying, "Hey, thank you for being loyal. We're gonna fuck you the hardest. The longer you've been loyal, the harder we're gonna fuck you." So I mean, that definitely chased me away. And if Blizzard wasn't involved in this, then I might have been a little bit, take a step back and give them a little space. But I think the fact that Blizzard is going to be involved in the login and the friends list, any social aspects of the game, I think that really was a driving factor for me to get it, because I know Blizzard won't half-ass it, and I know Activision.
But here's the thing: like Blizzard has had like barely tangential interaction with the development side. Like the only reason those two parties are interacting is because of their father, Activision.
Right. And I'm not saying that Blizzard's not working on the game at all. That's fine. I liked the game how it was originally. I just think that the social aspect definitely could have been worked on. The whole clans, the whole Grimoire score. Oh, I want to know more about the game. How do I do that?
Yeah,
you gotta get off the game.
Go onto this website, dude. Fuck that.
Yeah,
like, show me now.
Or like trying to find raids was a pain in the ass, because like if you had friends that were always on, you could totally find them pretty easily. But if you didn't have friends, or you wanted to play a raid that they didn't care about anymore, like Vault of Glass 3 expansions in, then it's like you got to go to find a different third-party website, looking for group websites.
LFG.net. Yeah.
Like I'd have to go. Like I said, I started 5 months ago, and I just wanted to do one. I wanted to do the Vault of Glass. I didn't want to do anything crazy, anything over the top. I'm like, I want to try this out. And no one gave a shit. They're like, know what to do. Like, there was no group that
have
was
this armor, have this weapon.
Exactly. Light level 390 or higher.
Yep.
And it's like, first of all, chill out. It's an MMO, not. This isn't Second Life. Like, we're not making money here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but Destiny 2, man. I'm hyped, and I shouldn't be as much as I am, but I am fucking hyped just because of how much I loved the first game, even with shortcomings.
I want to be, but hearing how much Nick gritted his teeth against the multiplayer when we lived together, and hearing how you guys are talking about their business model and how you hated it, I can't be hyped. I want it to do well. I wish it the best. Much like the Adele song, I want nothing but the best for you. That's it. I don't want anything.
I'll be very happy if you don't have to do PvP in order to get stuff for PvE. That was my biggest gripe for that kind of thing.
The only thing though
I
with
remember.
that was that was for convenience to get it faster. You didn't have to do
But for
PvP.
some of that stuff was only available with Crucible points,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, with Crucible.
Well, I
Monks.
mean, if you're a completionist, then yes. But I mean,
I
you
was
don't
just trying
have
to get my light level to the maximum.
I mean, raiding though, couldn't you get a full set in the raid?
No,
Oh, well then, if you, I realized. Never
that was
mind.
the problem.
I'm wrong. Okay, well
Well,
is
no,
a
it's like
problem.
some of that raid stuff would have a cap on the light level, and it wouldn't be 400. It would be whatever the fuck it was at the time. You know, you'd have to arbitrarily do it through that means. And I remember just fucking, you know, I seriously like countless expletives were screamed in our household when that shit was going on, man. Like I wanted to do well. I'm really glad. Like Bungie's doing great things.
So you said
I
Red Dead, huh?
Red Dead.
That's what you're hyped for, huh?
I am. I don't think it's going to be good, and I don't think they'll actually release it.
Why don't you think it's
You
gonna
don't
be good?
you don't think they'll actually release it?
No, I don't. Because they were supposed to have a what you call it? They had a trailer. It leaked. Basically, the info leaked that Rockstar had a trailer ready for this E3, but right after the Pulse nightclub shooting, the trailer included a mind you, this is all rumor and hearsay, but I trust my sources. Had a barroom shootout involving a character, and you know people die. And this was right after the Pulse nightclub shooting, and they're like, "We're pulling it. We're not showing this shit. This is too close. We're not doing it." Next good opportunity came up, they let it pass. They didn't show it. And honestly, it doesn't fit their business model right now because Rockstar has struck gold. And that gold, my friends, is Grand Theft Auto 5 microtransactions. They have struck gold in the Grand Theft Auto online community. I have never, ever, maybe in League of Legends, maybe, seen a more voracious, more committed, more willing to spend money community than I have for Grand Theft Auto 5 online on the consoles and the PC. It's mind-blowing. Mind-blowing.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
They have
For
not
virtual
done
cash.
They have not done exactly. They have not done a thing. They have not done one thing since Grand Theft Auto 5. And that came out in like 2014, 2013. And before that, let's count like what stuff they did. They did Max Payne 3 was in 2012. That was awesome. That game is incredible. That game is a blockbuster. You got it. It's awesome. They did LA Noire in 2010, I think, 2011. Not the best game in the world. Definitely experimented with some new technology, but it was what it was, and it did what it did very well. Its ending was shit. The story was bad, but it was a fucking cop procedural, and it was neat. That was a lot of fun. Then before that, they had Red Dead Redemption, which was mind blowing, like crazy good. That story is that you can't beat that story. And then all the other stuff they did, and that was between two Grand Theft Auto games, and that was Grand Theft Auto 4 came out in 2008, and so it's what 5 years. It's getting pretty up there in years. It's been about 3.5 years since Grand Theft Auto 4. Grand Theft Auto 5 came out. They have done nothing because they've struck gold. They don't have to. It's very much the Half-Life 3. Valve doesn't have to. They don't have to lift a finger. They're not gonna please you when they're sitting on a vault of money. They don't have to.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So I'm hyped for it in the same way I'm hyped for Half-Life 3. I really want it to happen, and if it does happen, I want it to be good, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
What about you, Nick? Anything you're hyped for?
I mean, I already talked about Destiny. I did get, like I said earlier, the StarCraft remake, the remastered StarCraft, and
yeah,
that's solid. I mean, it's StarCraft, and it looks nice.
But nothing gameplay has changed, right?
No, like
you
a
can't mess
couple
it up,
things
man.
that I was hoping that they would put in is being able to select more than 12 units at one time.
Nope.
No, that's not happening. SCVs can
Fuck
still
no.
get stuck in between supply depots.
Cool.
A classic. I I'm like
That's awesome.
halfway through the Terran campaign, even though I've only been playing it today. That's about it.
Hell yeah. Well, I was gonna say, you said a few things like pig. I want to wait for the Switch. I'm hoping that Animal Crossing gets announced pretty soon because that would be perfect for the Switch.
Definitely.
I mean, it would be perfect. But go ahead.
Because
I'm sorry.
Animal Crossing has always danced between good portable and wanting to have real horsepower behind it. Like the Wii one was pretty good, but then they were like, this didn't really sell, so let's go back to the DS. Let's go back to the 3DS. Let's stick with the portable home we had. The GameCube one was amazing. They're all really good. And I think that will be a very perfect home for it on the Powerhouse because it's an impressive in terms of processing power for the Switch. I think it'll be a really cool and potent game that will fill the Switch library if they have a good Animal Crossing game. But I think they're going to be focusing on Fire Emblem more than anything else. I just want an Advance Wars game, dude. That's all I want.
Dude,
I want
I
an
love
Advance
Advance
Wars
Wars.
game. Like Intelligent Systems has made 5.5 games since the last Advance Wars game. Oh, fucking Fire Emblem Heroes is a mobile game.
Yeah,
mind you, Fire Emblem Heroes is really good, but it's happening.
You think so?
I love it. That game is great. Dude,
Okay.
download it, try it out. It's great.
No, I've played it. I've played it. I don't. It follows all the tropes that mobile games do.
And that's the thing. If you've never played one of those, then hey, it does it pretty well.
Okay,
and it was my first little clicker game. I don't fucking play it as much as I used to because whatever. I'm playing more important things like Hoplite, and staring at my stats for Overwatch on my phone.
Yeah.
but yeah, in terms of I remembered something in terms of other actual hype, and it's that I'm hyped for a better Overwatch character because I don't like Doomfist. I don't like what he does.
You don't like Doomfist? I mean, he's extremely mobile.
He's extreme. Well, he's not as mobile as he was in the PTR before he came out. Because he could move around. Because like his E ability, he could jump in the air with his uppercut, and then his slam, he actually got some lift off of, and he could be on a ledge higher than he was. Then they removed that. They specifically removed that, so he had decreased mobility. I also I think it's kind of shitty that they removed a one hit combo from the game of Roadhog's hook, and then put in another one right after that with his punch, because I've been in competitive, in quick play. He's never played in competitive. In quick play, whenever he's played, if I ever get hit with that punch, I'm dead. There's never been a chance where it's like, oh, I survived, but the skin of my teeth. No, you're just dead.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of two-faced.
Yep.
You know,
slam, uppercut, slam, shoot.
Well, yeah, it's just that punch. Right punch.
Yeah.
Like that one rocket punch. If you're bouncing a wall and you're playing a not tank, then you're dead. You know.
Yep.
Especially if you're like Tracer or a support character. I think what he does for the story is cool, but whatever. I'm excited to see because they've kind of released details about the new hero, and I'm excited to see him because he's going to be like kind of a builder, kind of a summoner, and that's something we haven't seen. So I'm actually quite hyped for that.
Cool.
So I'm excited about this aspect of this game that came out a year ago, and this game that I don't think will come out. I don't get hyped very often.
Well, yeah. I think that's about time. I think we covered everything for this time.
Yeah, this is fucking the hype, the hip, the hop, the hypity,
hoopity doop,
the hip. Stop your life.
Don't stop.
Don't stop the rock. I just don't stop hype. I don't know how the song goes.
That's all right. See you next time on After the Hype, Higgscast.
What?
You know it.
Well, yeah. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody. Bring snacks. Everybody.